End-to-end tests and user interface Automator. End-to-end tests are used to test the very basic functionality of your application in such a way that it goes through multiple systems. So you know that your end product can be launched and it can do some very basic things. So for example, you have a login screen and then there is a main screen. So you want to make sure that your user can get past the login screen and end up with a main screen that shows some content. And then you know that your application is fully working in a sense that it can do this very important, very first step without any issues. And again, all the other functionality, or more complicated cases, other screens, data persistence can be covered by integration tests and unit tests. So to do end-to-end tests, there is a framework called UI Automator, again developed by Google to test user interfaces on Android. It's a bit higher level tool than Espresso, but for end-to-end tests we could also use Espresso. But in this case, we'll utilize UI Automator. And the difference between Espresso and UI Automator is that UI Automator can work with multiple applications on the device. So if you need to test some kind of cross-application functionality interactions, then you have to use UI Automator. And if that's not the case, you can stick with Espresso. And here's an example of a simple test. So here we can see that we work with the device itself. So we acquire a reference to the device and we can, for example, press a home button. Then we'll appear on the home screen on the device. And then, for example, we can find an element that will open all application screen for us. So it's just a higher level interaction. It means that we're not working with only our application. We can work with the entire device. So we have made here a test for end-to-end test for our application. So let's take a quick look at it. To make an UI Automator work, first of all, you'll need to include a dependency for it. And when that's done, we can take a look at the test itself. So we need to do a bit more preparation with the UI Automator. So for example, here we have a method that will ensure that our application is started on the home screen. So what it does, it again gets the device and navigates to the home screen. Then it acquires reference here to our application and starts it. So start activity. And we acquire reference or address to our application by using the right package name, which, well, again, can be done using instrumentation framework. So when all of that done, we just wait for our application to start. And when our application is running, what we'll do here is we'll open the main screen and then we're gonna click a button that's called Add New Stock button. So that will open us another screen that will contain an object that has an ID of portfolio add new symbol. And if that symbol's value is GOOG, it means everything is working fine and probably application, the final product is without major issues. So we can test how it works. We can just run again our emulator, the test. It's gonna get built, executed on the emulator. With a bit of waiting, we'll see that while application got started, it started another screen and the test is done. It's successful. So, well, and there is a need to make end-to-end tests. You might as well stick with Espresso, but if you want to test some advanced functionality such as navigating between different applications and so on, you'll have to use UI Automator. And we're almost done. So we have one more video left of this section about hallway testing, which is a really important lesson.